Hi. Are you here for the fantasy and science fiction book club? Yeah? Awesome. Well, my name is Kayla. I am the book club president. So I will be handling your orientation today. Well, I was just about to pour some tea. I got a whole pot. It's hibiscus and chamomile. Would you like a cup? Yeah? Okay, awesome. I have this little owl cup that they brought me. Okay. Here is your cup. And we can order another pot of tea if you want to. It's really good to make great tea here. Okay. So, before we get into talking about the books, I'm just going to go over our standard questionnaire for our website that we have for the book club. It's like a little biography for all the members. It's really fun. Alright. So first question. What is your full name? Okay. Do you have a nickname that you like? How did you get that nickname? Oh, that's funny. When is your birthday? Okay. Oh, it's coming up. Cool. And who is your favorite author? Ooh, I love them. Yeah. What is your favorite book? Yeah, I know it's a hard one. Awesome. Yeah, I've read that. Yeah, that's a really good one. I know, it's so hard to pick a favorite. What are some of your hobbies besides reading? Wow. That's awesome. You do cool stuff. Very cool. Okay. And do you have any pets? Oh, cute. Yeah. Yeah, I love animals. What is your favorite food? All right. Yum. That sounds so good right now. And what is your favorite fruit? That's a good one. Um, what is your favorite kind of cake? Yeah, I like that kind of cake too. I like all cake. As long as it's vegan. I'll eat anything pretty much. Oh, the cool thing about this coffee shop when we come here is they have vegan cupcakes, and this place is open 24 hours. So any place that has vegan cupcakes 24 hours to me is just a slice of heaven. Oh, I learned something the other day. It's gonna blow your mind right now. A cool way to eat a cupcake is that when you have the cupcake, you don't split it down the middle, you split it like horizontally, and then you flip it, and the icing's in the middle like a little cupcake sandwich, and then you eat it like that. It's so good. It's like a little whoopie pie, and it's just like easier kind of without the icing on top. It's so good. And what is your favorite kind of cookie? Yeah, I love those. What is your favorite kind of drink? That sounds nice. I can go for one of those right now. That sounds good. Alright, the next question. If you could be a superhero, what would you want your superpower to be? Yeah, that's great. Very cool. And is there anything else you'd like to share about yourself to the book club? Oh, that's really nice. Cool. Okay. Well, that is the end of your biography. I will post it tonight, and when you get a chance, just send me a picture that you want to have attached to your bio, and you can double check to make sure that I filled out everything okay. And then while you're on it, you can take a little sneak peek to check out all the other club members' bios as well, to get a little look ahead on who you're going to be meeting soon. So, since you are brand new to the Science Fiction and Fantasy Book Club, you get to choose what book we're going to read this month. We meet once a month, and we have kind of our own spin on things. That's a little different than other book clubs, where we kind of make it like a theme party, where everybody brings some kind of creative expression that they've been inspired to do from the book. Some examples are like acting out a scene in the book. You can do it alone, or you can team up with another member. You can make a song. You can bring any musical instrument that you want. You can write a poem. You can draw a picture of what you think a character looks like. Or you can draw one of your favorite scenes in the books. I guess some kind of like really good scene that has like a strong image for you. You can make some kind of food for us to share that is either like something that they eat in the book or something that is just like in theme with it. Like, example, if we're reading The Wizard of Oz, you could bring in cookies that are like little red slippers, or like with a cookie cutter, or you can even do just like red hearts, like the Tin Man's heart. Or you can create a cocktail that's inspired by the book somehow. You can make a diorama. I really love when people bring dioramas because there's just such nostalgia involved in it, and we've had some really cool ones. I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting any. Oh, you could just come dressed up as someone in the book or just in theme of it. Yeah, I think you get the idea. Anything that has been inspired and something that you could do creative. And it's really fun. And we also do every Sunday at 1 o'clock we do a reading hangout, which is optional. We either meet up at a coffee shop like this, or if the weather is nice, then we go to a park or a beach. And that's where we go for our book club meetings too, depending on the weather. What else? Do you have any questions so far? Okay, well, let me know. I'm trying to think if that's everything. Yeah, so when we go over the books today, then you can let me know which ones you want to read this month. And there's no real pressure if you like more than one, because these will be on the table in months to come as well. Okay, so let's get started. This is our first book option. This is Artemis Fowl. Like puffed up the letters. It's by Eon Colfer. This is a New York Times bestseller. This is a series of, I think, like 6 or 7 books. This is the first book. I've read about 4 of them. I like how it's made to look like a little secret book. Like a little key. And this here, all these little symbols, is an alphabet. And then it's all at the bottom of the book. When I read this years ago, I went on the website and I wrote out the code of the alphabet on my bookmark, and so I was like reading it. Like I could speak the code after a while, and decode it a little bit. Just a couple pages. I wrote it, but I would use my bookmark and just read it. This little mini story at the bottom. Just fun. This is like a mix between James Bond and like Lord of the Rings, kind of. With all the elves and centaurs. The premise is that a long time ago there was a great battle between men and all different mythological creatures like fairies, centaurs, leprechauns, trolls, everything. And men won, and then they banished all the magical creatures to live in deep underground cities. And the way that they travel to the surface is in these metal pods that they go through these lava chutes up to the surface. And the main character, Artemis Fowl, he's I think 12 years old, 12 or 13, and he's a genius, and he's either like a millionaire or a billionaire. And he makes friends with this little, I think she's a fairy, but she's a part of the Leprechaun. It's kind of like a play on the word leprechaun. So they team up and they go up against all like goblins and stuff. It's cool. Let's see what it says. 12-year-old Artemis Fowl is a millionaire, a genius, and above all, a criminal mastermind. But even Artemis Fowl doesn't know what he's taken on when he kidnaps a fairy, Captain Holly Short of the Leprechaun Unit. These aren't the fairies of bedtime stories. They're dangerous, full of unexpected twists and turns. Artemis Fowl is a riveting magical adventure. I'm going to read you the intro, just because I feel like sometimes you need to hear the author's type of writing. Like you need to hear their voice in order to decide if it can like really take you in. Because it could be a good story, but if you don't connect with the style of writing, then it's just not the same. So chapter 1 is titled The Book. Ho Chi Minh City in the summer, sweltering by anyone's standards. Needless to say, Artemis Fowl would not have been willing to put up with such discomfort if something extremely important had not been at stake. Important to the plan. The sun did not suit Artemis. He did not look well in it. Long hours indoors in front of a computer screen had bleached the glow from his skin. He was white as a vampire and almost as testy in the light of day. I hope this is another wild goose chase, Butler, he said, his voice soft and clipped, especially after Carol. They had traveled to Egypt in the word of Butler's informant. No, sir, I'm certain this time. Nujian is a good man. Droned Artemis, unconvinced. Passerby would have been amazed to hear the large Eurasian man referred to the boy as sir. This was, after all, the 3rd millennium. But this was no ordinary relationship, and these were no ordinary tourists. They were sitting outside a curbside cafe on Dong Khai Street, watching the local teenagers circle the square on mopeds. Nijian was late, and the pathetic patch of shade provided by the umbrella was doing little to improve Artemis's mood. But this was just his daily pessimism. Beneath the sulk was a spark of hope. Could this trip actually yield results? Would they find the book? It was too much to hope for. A waiter scurried to their table. "More tea, sirs?" he asked, head bobbing furiously. Artemis sighed. "Spare me the theatrics and sit down." The waiter turned instinctively to Butler, who was after all the adult. "But sir, I am the waiter." Artemis tapped the table for attention. "You are wearing handmade loafers, a silk shirt, and 3 gold signet rings. Your English has a tinge of Oxford about it, and your nails have the soft sheen of the recently manicured. You are not a waiter. You are a contact, Nigel Zuen, and you have adapted this pathetic disguise to discreetly check for weaponry." Nagian shrugged his shoulders. Nagian's shoulders sagged. "It is true. Amazing. Hardly. A ragged apron does not a waiter make." So sassy. So, I know Artemis comes off a little crass, but you get to love him. He's really a very nice boy. He's got a lot on his plate, being a child genius, and he's pretty much running his household. Alright, that's book number 1. The second book. It's a pretty good sized book. It's about almost 500 pages. Let's see, Artemis Fowl has, I think they're all around the same. Yeah, it's about 400 pages, it's a little smaller. So this is Aberrant. And it's the same upside down. This is also a New York Times bestseller. And it's by Clive Barker. I love him. He's very imaginative. He does a lot of horror, but this is in a young adult genre, so it never really gets too scary. It can be a little macabre, but for the most part, it's pretty light reading. This is about a young girl named Candy that gets transported to another dimension where there's all these different islands with all these really fantastic characters, kind of like in The Wizard of Oz or Alice in Wonderland, that like down the rabbit hole kind of feeling, where it's just almost as if she's walking through a dream. And she meets this guy named John Mischief that has these antlers that there's all these little heads on them that are his brothers, and he has conversations with them. It's just really wild. There's like fish people, and gosh, there's just so many fantastic creatures. I'm not done reading it yet. I'm about halfway. Yeah. And I definitely want to read more of the series. I think there's like 3 or 4. And I'm just loving it so much. Let's see what it says. A journey beyond imagination is about to unfold. It begins in the most boring place in the world, Chickentown, USA. There lives Candy Quackenbush, her heart bursting for some clue as to what her future might hold. When the answer comes, it's not one she expects. Welcome to Abaret, a vast archipelago where every island is a different hour of the day. Candy has a place in this extraordinary land. She is here to help save the Abaret from the dark forces that are stirring at its heart. Forces older than time itself and more evil than anything Candy has ever encountered. She's a strange heroine, she knows, but this is a strange world. And in Abaret, all things are possible. I'm going to read you a little excerpt from my book here. This is chapter 20. And this chapter is called The World Through Borrowed Eyes. Of one thing Candy was absolutely certain. There was no sight on earth to equal the view from the top of the colossal head of Ibadimde. Yeah, there's this one island where there's this huge building that's like a big head. Kind of like a big statue of a head, but you can go inside it. Wherever she looked from that high, windswept platform, she saw wonders. She had help, of course. Not only did she have Samuel Hastrom Klepp the Fifth by her side to point out things, and to occasionally catch hold of her arm when a particularly strong gust of wind threatened to carry her over the edge of the great head. He had also supplied 2 very accommodating squid, which clung to their heads and then so positioned their boneless bodies that their eyes, which were immensely strong, could be used as telescopic lenses. Klepp's squids were his pets. One he had called Squib, and the other Squiller. At first Candy found it a little odd to be wearing a living creature, but she supposed it was like any animal that worked with a human companion. A horse, a dog, a train rat. It was just one more reminder that she was not in Chicken Town. It's kind of like, I'm not in Kansas anymore kind of thing. If you want to get closer to something, Klepp said to Candy, just say, a little closer if you don't mind, Squiller, or a little farther away if you don't mind, Squiller. It's important you be precise and polite in the way you speak to them. They're very particular about the little courtesies. Candy didn't have any difficulty getting the trick of this, and after only a minute or two, Squiller had made himself so much at home on her head that it was no more peculiar than wearing a hat that had been left in a box of fish for a few days. Certainly Squiller had appeared to be eager to give Candy the best possible view of Abaret. Half the time she didn't even need to ask him to alter his focus. He seemed to know what she wanted instinctively, as though he was reading the brain waves coming off her skull. Candy didn't entirely discount the possibility. She'd read back at home that squid showed extraordinary means of communicating with one another. How much more likely was it that the equivalent species here would be blessed with some miraculous power? The whole world was filled with magic. At least that was the impression Klepp gave her as he named the islands of the archipelago and spoke of the miracles they contained. Every island is a different hour of the day, he began by saying, and at each island you'll find all the things that our hearts and souls and minds and imaginations connect with the hour. Look there. He pointed towards a place not far from the Straits of Dusk. You see that island wreathed in light and cloud? Candy saw it. The cloud rose in a rolling spiral around what looked to be a vast mountain, or perhaps a tower of gargantuan size. "What is it?" Candy asked Clep. "The 25th hour," he replied. "Sometimes called Odom Sphere. It's a place of mysteries and dreams." "Who lives there?" "That's one of those mysteries. Though I have heard the name Phantomia associated with the place, I have no idea what it means." Okay, so I'm gonna stop there. So that's the second book choice. I love the squid hats, they're so cute. Got the third book option for you. This is called A Hero for Wandla. I like the little swirly kind of circus print they have there. And this is their spaceship. That's the main character, Eva. Oh, this is also. Oh well, it's not. This isn't a New York Times bestseller, but this is from the #1 New York Times bestselling author and illustrator, Tony, how do you say his name? Terlizzi. So he did the illustrations too, and they're incredible. It's kind of like a graphic novel in a way. They're just beautiful. They're all in blue. This is Eva. It takes place in the future. And she makes friends with all these different aliens and all these strange creatures. So she met a dodo bird. Dodos come back in the future in this dystopian concept. Wait, let me show you. There's a map, I believe. Is there a map? Maybe there's a map. Is there a map? This is the second book in the series. We've already read the first book. It's not necessary for you to read the first book in order to enjoy this, because it kind of briefs you on the backstory in the beginning. But you're more than welcome to read the first book if you want, if you choose this book, because it's a pretty quick read. The font's pretty big and it's just really action-packed. This is like some floating alien that is psychic. She has 6 arms. So she travels with this boy Haley to the city that's underground. Okay, so I'm gonna read the description. Eva Nine's dream of finding more humans like herself has come true in New Attica, where humans, all shapes and sizes, live in peace. But she realizes that something very bad is going on, which can mean the end of everything and everyone on Urbana. Take a journey with Eva 9 aboard the Bijou through the magic world of WandaVision. Simply hold the special interactive illustrations up to your computer's webcam to be part of the adventure. Wait, what? Oh, that was in the description. That was like something cool you can do on the website, which I'm totally gonna do. Okay, let me read you a little bit of it. So she's outside of New Attica with Haley, and this is the machine speaking. Welcome back to New Attica, Haley Turner. a bodiless voice greeted the pilot while a green laser scanned his body. Eva and Haley were standing at the bottom of an underground access ramp that led to the entrance of the city. Flanking the grand entryway were two stone pillars, one carved in the shape of a man and the other in the shape of a woman. Graffiti and other markings marred the ornate sculptures. "Thank you," Haley addressed the closed entry gate to the city. "I'm here with a new citizen. Please remain still for an initial body scan. This will take several moments," the gate instructed. The laser eye began to inspect Eva, just as it had done with Haley. "Do you come to New Attica often?" Eva tried to stand still. "I've been a few times. It's too crowded for me." "Weren't you born here? Did you change your name like Vampa?" That's his grandpa. Eva asked. "No," Haley replied, uninterested. "This is the name my dad gave me." "I might change my name to Dorothy," Eva said, watching Haley for a response. "She was the girl in this old book I found. Have you ever seen a book before?" "Please remain still until body scan is complete. Thank you," the gate said. "Dorothy, huh?" Haley leaned against a pillar and polished his Omnipod. James Dean Lane and Haley. "If that's the name you like." "I'll have to find out what it means first," Eva said. "Do you know what Haley means?" "Please remain still until body scan is complete. Thank you," the gate repeated. "Yeah, Haley means sit still so we can get on with this," the pilot said with a smirk. "Scan complete. Please insert Omnipod here." Omnipod is like their iPhone, but it's attached to their identity. A hatch slid open, revealing a small access port. Eva did as she was instructed. "You are Earth in vitro alpha 9th generation from HRP Sanctuary 573. Is that correct?" the gate asked. "Yes," Eva said, bouncing on her toes. Excitement buzzed through her like a wild electric charge. "Access to city granted," the gate said. "Please take your Omnipod and proceed to the sub-ferry dock for immediate departure. Welcome to New Attica." The heavy pocketed ply-steel outer gates squeaked in resistance as they ground apart. Inside, a row of battered sub-ferries sat docked at a steep angle facing down into a series of tunnels that led deep underground. The bobsled-shaped aged ships were waiting for their new arrivals with back hatches open. "Please watch your step," the nearest sub-ferry said in a friendly manner. "We shall be departing shortly." "Let's go to the front. Those are the best seats," Haley said, boarding the ferry. So this is like a little flirty scene between Eva and Haley. The cool thing about this is if you choose this one, there's questions in the back. Oh, I knew there was a map. Yeah. Here's a map. I love books and maps. This has discussion questions in the back. Like, if life in New Attica was so perfect, why did it need to be patrolled by authoritarian guards? Yeah, it's like this dystopian, futuristic city with all these heavy armored guards everywhere. So those are your choices. Do you need a minute, or do you know which book you want? Stack them up. Oh, that's a good one. Yay. I'm so happy. I think you're really gonna like it. Okay. Alright. Perfect. So, you are all set for today. Just remember to send me a picture for your profile, and you can check the website tonight. And then I'll be posting information on when the next meeting will be. And yeah, it should be really fun. I hope you like this book club. Let me know if you have any questions. You can always send me an email. And I'm just really happy to have a new member